Howdy y'all, here to make a relatively short video. I have things to do in my life and this feels recursive and redundant to some extent, but I'm going to bring some new things to the table and hopefully we'll come around and have a good video here. So my last video, Nicolaitans, it's a harder video. It's on hate for towards people that are overindulgent and what Jesus said, the Nicolaitans, the ones that in my mind are the eunuchs, ones that will do anything to suit them. They're completely obsessed with material possessions, egotistical, and full of themselves. And they show their signs and their symbols. And yeah, it was a pretty straightforward video. And on this video, yeah, I received some hate. And I think just the nature of the day and age we're in. And Jesus' words are, we're going to be hated. It's just what it is. So this person, Lala Pony, said on my video where I showed my hand that I did a nice trick bending the hand and the fingers. I am a freemartin. He says, you are a freemartin. But God is using tares like you to spread the truth. God bleds you, or she means bless, or he, whatever, from France. So I'm not going to critique them harshly for mixing the D or the S because they're right next to each other on the keyboard and they're also from France. So it could be lost in translation. Who knows? But I wish this person well, and I will never call them a tear. So then I responded to them that this seemed like a provocation, a troll, and I'm spreading Jesus' words. And then they said, so like, why would a terror do that? A terror would basically want to take you away from Jesus. And yeah, so this person said, priests spread Jesus' words, but are still terrors and lying freemartin for most of them. So I responded to this with, well, priests get money in their phony church hierarchy and wear robes and regalia. I do not monetize anything. I do, nor act like I am between you and God at all. I will not call you a terror. And then on this point, I want to take a moment. Anybody who says that they are saved is what do you know? You are a mortal being. There is no way you can know that you are saved before you die. I'm sorry. That's just that doesn't make sense. Does that make sense to anybody? Does that make sense to you? So I said this: if God is using me as a terror to help the wheat, then great, right? Glad to help. God's job is to discern this, not you. You don't know if I'm a terror or not. No mortal being knows who the wheat and tares are. I'm just calling out hands, signs, symbols, numerology, false idols, trying to convince people not to eat flesh, and making videos related to the Bible, among other things. Why don't you make videos and show how wheat you are? Something else to note is this person just started their account 6 months ago and has 1 subscriber. So I'm not saying this means anything. This could be an angel that has taken the vessel of somebody and is genuine. I have no clue. Could be a good person at heart. I'm just saying, where's your content? What do you have to say? Why don't you make a video? Okay? So why don't you make videos and show how wheat you are? I will tune in and look forward to them. Also, anatomy is not indicative of whether you are a tear or not. This is the big aspect of this video. There are plenty of people that I have met that are not throwing hand signs that happen to have like they look trans. This is plain. We've said this before. It's telling truth or lying in essence. That's what matters. Right? Telling the truth or lying. Are you helping people or are you egotistical? We all sin and we all have to learn from it. I am actively trying to learn from my sin, and I feel in my heart that these creepy people sticking their tongues out and throwing gang signs are telling you their allegiance to indulgent lies. No one can know if they are saved or not before they die. That is my honest opinion. I will not argue or fight with you any further. If you want to work together on something, let me know. Maybe you could help my tear self become wheat, because isn't that ultimately what it's about? Save everyone we can while we are here, no matter how they may appear. Okay? So here's me, all right? What do you see? Look at the skulls and bones. Look at the clavicle straight across. That's a strong clavicle. That's of a man. I don't. Maybe I'm a free martin and I'm so confused. I have like this looks like a man to me. Look at the ear attachment. Low ear attachment. You can't even see the eyes. Look at the look at the Adam's apple. Look at the vascularity of the neck. Look at the arms hanging straight down. Look at the big kneecaps. Look at those feet. Look at the celebrity Swire feet. Look at my feet. Combine them. Look at them. Look, there's the same thing. So I feel like I'm a man, but maybe I'm so confused and terror-like that I have no idea. Please tell me whether I'm a free martin or a man. I'd love to know. So I went further because in this shot, it's pretty far away. My ribs, I think this is just true of anybody. Your ribs end where your elbow joint is. That's it. That's where your ribs end. So here I'm pointing it out to you. That's the end of my rib. You can even see it. See it? It's clear. That's where the rib ends. I have giant ass ribs. It's where my elbow ends. Long, and I had those long monkey arms. And my legs are about the same size as my torso. That's what it is. Women have long legs and short torsos. Men have longer torsos. That's why I don't fit in any shirts. I just don't, because they're made for free martins, and we live in a invert society. This has all been covered before, but we're gonna go further here. My partner and I, we took a picture together of our right feet. Look at the differences. She's a biological female, and I'm a biological male. Look at the differences. I thought this was pretty interesting. I've never looked this closely at feet in this way. So it seems like my second toe is longer than my big toe, and I think this is reflective on the hand too. So I think of the big toe as the thumb of the foot, of course, and her thumb of her foot is the longest, whereas my big toe is the longest. So I think this is indicative of a male. Now my toes are all clustered together because I grew up playing sports, and I spent so many years in cleats, in tight shoes, Nike shoes. I hate Nike shoes. I won't ever wear a Saturn Nike shoe again. They're all very tight and uncomfortable. Something else I want you to note is it seems like if you look at that section right beneath the toes, the tarsal section, her foot is actually wider than mine. Look at that. Right there at that tarsal section. See my toe bows in on the left there. Hers doesn't. Hers stays relatively straight. I think this is all indicative. My thumb does the same thing, bows in. So I think it's just marking of a man, marking of a woman. And then, as you know, very little vascularity in her feet. And she looks softer by comparison. This is just be obvious to you. Men are skeletal, women are cushy. It's just what it is. Makes sense, doesn't it? So here we have well-renowned actor Zac Efron. I mean, I haven't really watched much of this person's stuff. I can't say I've watched any of his films or her films. But look what we have. This is a straight-on shot. High attached ears, eyes that are close together, tiny little lips, and then no jaw. Just no jaw. If you look at me, what do you get? You got a jaw. Something else you want to know, something else you want to note too about Zac Efron is look at his tiny neck. And then the clavicles. There's not really clavicles. It's because it's a biological woman. The arms go out. And this is what we're around all the time. It's just what it is. And then you don't know how much work these celebrities have done. I think that's a fake hairpiece. I don't know for certain, but I think a lot of these celebrities are bald. And if you look at the thumb, it's the thick thumb of a free martin. It's not, I mean, this has all been established. It's nothing new. So this is just, and it's the Master Chief look. I hate using the word master in any other context, but it's what it is. Here we have Master Chief, this Halo character. Look, 11-7, like your 7-Eleven for the only gas station I knew growing up that had just pure numbers for its name, and it's the numbers that they use. It's 11s and 7s. That's what they love. 7 for this like completion, this like high power aspect, and the 11 for the duality. That's what I think it is. And what do you have the arms doing? Going out. What do you not have the arms doing on me? It's just I stood relaxed. This is standing relaxed. This is what we look like. Here, The Rock, same idea, Master Chief. Okay? This person also is hairless. Okay? Look at the hair on my legs. Okay. Hair. Okay. Hairy legs. Hairy arms, hairy legs. Hair. These people, I think they're pretty much all bald wearing wigs. And then clavicle, not very strong, short neck, squinty eyes that are close together. The face disappears. Got the Cupid's bow on the lip. I don't have to like do this all day. It's just easy at this point for me. And going forward, this is what this person used to look like. And I think they pass better now than they used to. They don't pass at all back here. Like this is a woman. And it shouldn't matter, but I think it's fake hair. And at the high ear attachment, just look at the face. Is this a cushy face, or is this a, piercing, intimidating gaze? It's got that soft gaze. It's a woman. It's boring to do this. This is boring to me because it's redundant. RFTK Ohio has done this a million times. How many people have done these stupid things a million times? And look at no dimension. There's no jaw. It's a rounded skull. It's a woman. It's a freemartin, a trans person, whatever you want to call it. I'm not trying to cast shade. It's just it's right there. The anatomy is there. Okay, and I think people can hardly argue. These celebrities are clearly people that are thrust in front of us. I mean, the Bible talks about this. The idols of Jerusalem. You're not supposed to worship them. So there's got to be stuff that's screwed up about them. Why shouldn't you worship them? Because they're doing this alchemy. So here you have this person with big boobs and tiny humerus and a high attached ear and no chin and bald the whole way through. And baldness grosses me out. I don't think we're supposed to be bald. My buddy talks about, Snow Global talks about how hair might be related to telepathy. I believe him. I think that these people you're not supposed to be bald. He's not even that old. He's like 50 something. He should have hair. No hair on the whole body except maybe the eyebrows. It's ridiculous. Looks like the Spider-Man character. What was this, Kingpin? What's Kingpin doing? Throwing the hand signs. Bald all over. Besides the eyebrows. It's so weird. It's not a good look. But it's what we've been trained to look at and say, that's a strong man. But it's just, there's nothing about this that's male. It's doughy. It has no neck. Okay? This is what I look like. This is me in a nutshell. This is some Alicia Vikander. I don't think I've ever seen anything this person's been in, but it screams my body. Straight up and down. You don't even have boobs. Why are you covering them up? And then your clavicle is straight across. You can have a table on it. I think of, those airplane tables. She can easily put one of those on her clavicle like I could. And then, yeah, straight up and down boy body. It's what we've been exposed to from day one. So put myself in the middle. Here's the comparison. What do I look like? Freemartin or male? You be the judge. And then deeper, does it matter? Because I'm saying it doesn't, but it's just, wow, interesting that every person on the world stage, every person that you've been exposed to, the way the world works, as I've been showing video after video after video, it's all flipped. And it's boring. Who cares at this point? It's so boring. It's just, like, look at the clavicles on me. Look at the clavicles on the rock. Where are the rock's clavicles? Where? It's a freemartin. That's a standard freemartin. Look at, there's none. This is redundant. Okay? Here, Angelina Jolie, Zac Efron again. Arms go out. Angelina Jolie, arms go straight down. Alicia Vikander, arms go straight down. A rock, arms go out. Why is this so consistent and easy? Because we know this. It's a science. It's easy. Okay? I thought this was a great image. It just shows you everything you need to know. Look at no dimension to the face. These people are looking straight on each other. Right? Rounded female skull, high attached ears. Look how low this person's ears are by comparison. Look at the strongness of the face. Look at the piercing gaze. Look at the neck, how vascular it is. Look at the no neck. It's in your face. It's so obvious once you see it. You can't unsee it. Okay? Here's somebody we all respect. RFTK Ohio. We say it's a real man. Who does he look like? It's a real man. Straightforward. Pretty easy. Arms go straight down. Long neck that comes with a head that comes off of the body. Low attached ears. There you go. Okay? Here's another real male out there in the world. I don't know this person, from my home state, but look at the long neck and the giant and the Adam's apple. And then look at the chin, look at the jaw. It's there. It's all there. Here, here you have my buddy Snow Global, another real man. Look at the Adam's apple, long neck, strong jaw, low attached ears. You know, frustrated with this world. Frustrated he has to take this stupid picture because of how ridiculous this stupid world is, right? It's where we're at. It's ridiculous. And then they make fun of us with this caveman nonsense, with this Sasquatch nonsense, the brow ridge. None of this stuff existed. It's just they make it up and laugh, 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 chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. It's ridiculous. But here we are, and you got these people, in my opinion, they're just out here to provoke us. That's all they're doing. So, and again, I'm not saying that because you are trans makes you evil. I'll just keep hammering this point home. Takashi Kokubo, I love this person's music. Calls themselves a man. What about that is male? No Adam's apple, tiny little face, soft gaze. Just it's not a male. You can look at Takashi Kokubo everywhere. It's what it is. And it's not mean. It's a freemartin. It's what it is. And this is a fantastic album by them. I love this album. Gaudi's Dream by it's very relaxing and I enjoy it. It's a great ambient soundscape to bliss out to. You don't or to study or to do what you're doing, but it's wondrous and I love it. Here's another musician, Mark Barrett. I love this person's work. But again, it's a female skull, Cupid's bow on the lip. I mean, we know all the markers. This isn't hard. I'm not saying this is a bad person per se, but yeah, you got a globe on your shirt. So I don't know how I feel, it doesn't sit too well with me. This is a song I love by them. It's a fantastic song. So check it out. Here, this person, she's a teacher from Texas A&M. She's a physics professor. What did I say about the buck teeth? Giant buck teeth. No Cupid's bow. Pretty long neck. I don't know what that is right there in the middle. But pretty strong knuckles there. Pretty powerful knuckles. And this person makes great videos. It shouldn't matter. I shouldn't have to do this. This is stupid, But was on CBS, so that's not so hot. But I will say I've enjoyed her videos. And Tatiana Erukamova, I think is her name. She's Russian. She's got good content, but I don't think doesn't look like a woman to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's a swire, and make of that what you will. And this is regular people. This is older generation. Who has the softer gaze? Who has the more intense gaze? Who would you rather go to if you're having, difficulties and you want somebody to lean on? Who would you rather zip around and run around the room and go out into the mountains and have faith that they are going to be able to keep up with you every step of the way, just based on the skull and the eyes? And look, who has the bigger eyes? That's not who's farther apart eyes. Who has the small? It's and then who has the high attached ears? Who has the lower ears? It's every day, all the time. This is the mold we're in. So here's another one. Okay, long neck, big strong jaw, eyebrows off the eyes. You can see the clavicle coming through. This one, where is your clavicle? I don't see anything. No Adam's apple. It looks like you have a rat pelt on your head. You got a wonk eye, looking soft in the face. It looks like you might have more boobs than your wife or whatever, your partner. Soft hands. Look at the thumb. It's not a man thumb. It's a girl thumb. Doesn't matter. Old, young generation, it's been going on. Okay? Now we have the dark stuff we were talking about. Okay, look at the eyes and what they're doing. Is this rock on, or is this we're part of a thing and we're calling out to our daddy? Why would they do this? Why do they all do this? I will never do this. I've never thrown devil horns or rock on for any photo ever in my life. When I was living in Hawaii, I threw hang 10 because I didn't know better. It was stupid, but it's also very common for like the beach island crowd, right? So here, is this the peace sign? Is that the peace sign? Look at the face. Does that look like peace to you? Tell you what, it doesn't look like peace to me. Looks like I know things that you don't. I'm calling out what I am. I've got a little secret. Okay? These don't look like faces of people that are peaceful. It looks like a secret, a little secret that they've got, and that looks like an Adam's pea, and you don't have much structure there, and high attached ears, and why do you have no jaw? Because why do you, again, both of them no jaw? Because that's what we have. That's what we're, and it's not, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. It's just these are freemartin. We've established that, right? So here we have the Hogwarts scene, right? It's the Hogwarts scene, the Daily Prophet, all that Harry Potter crap. Okay, let's look at these two people. Okay, who has the closer together eyes? The dude or the woman? It's just, once you get good at this, you can just see it in the eyes. And the left, the woman, that it's hard to tell, honestly. Like, definitely more manly than her partner, but is that a woman or is it not? I don't know. It might be a woman. But I will say, isn't it curious that it looks like her eyes are bigger and farther apart than her husband's or partner's? And then, yeah, of course, how many people do you know that are doing this crap? I got my vaccine. We can do this. Like, it's a complete hoax. These people want you to, like, poison yourself. It's really messed up. Okay? This is a complete... I threw this in to show that I'm humbling myself, that I'm going to humiliate myself, that I don't care. I have nothing to be afraid of. When I was a teenager, I did vile things. The worst period of my life was from the ages, thus far, was from the ages of 16, 17 to about 21, 22. And I did what this is referencing. I put peanut butter on my penis and allowed my dog to lick it off because I was perverted and disgusting. It is probably the most disgusting, vile thing I've ever done in my life. I did it when I was like 16 years old. People in my neighborhood knew about it. I told people about it. I felt bad about it, but I did it. I was a sick, hypersexualized child that grew up in this world of disgusting, depraved media. And they made it. And what was really curious about this is this came out in 2011, and I probably did that in 2010. And if there is any credence to this idea that there aren't many men left and they're watching us and we're on some little show like the Truman Show, then boy, oh boy, where did they get the idea or to make fun of this, you know? So here I have this other guy on my channel who's wonderful and goes into depth and talks about our experience and undoubtedly is a real man based on exactly what they say. Listen to this. Abdiya Ahmed, I greatly appreciate your insight. Religion, in my perspective, should be about cleaning my spirit as much as possible, both physically and spiritually. I do believe in higher power, but many quote-unquote dad, right, freemartin parents, know the secret about religions and compare it to a drag show, ironically. I can't be bothered by Islam or Christianity, my friend. Although it has uniqueness to it, so does the Quran and many spiritual books. All these books are made for these FTMs and MTFs. We are not the norm, so to speak. I get reminded by the song Burn, made by Swire Ellie Goulding, and she talks about the training world and how it was made for them. He says it all right there. And I gotta say, to make this little point, as much as I talk about the Bible and whatnot, boy, oh boy, do I have my skepticism. And boy, oh boy, do I feel like there's a lot of it that has been either taken out, left out. Because when I read the entire KJV Bible, and it's parts of it that sit with me right. Parts of it that I'm like, all the sacrifice, all the war, I mean, part of it's the tale. Maybe it did happen. I don't know, but then there's parts of it that it just doesn't sit right with me, and it does feel like they've doctored it. And I made a video before showing all the hand signs in the Bible that I have. Um, but we'll go forward here. These books are just the same. They speak to the majority, and majority are rotten to the core with AI personality. Yeah, I talked about before how I would throw out my mom's People magazines because of what it did. It was just such an ugly, grotesque celebrity idol worship. Someone's getting married, whatever gossip thing. And that's what it feels like. These people are parroting celebrities so often, or just parroting what's in the news. That's why I find it weird how Hans Worm has the savior mindset. You know, Hans, RFTK Ohio, I talk about all the time. While his comments are flooded by demonic trannies that probably read newspapers like robots and harass people on their respective jobs. Yeah, that's what they do. That's how they act. They get into your workplace, or they're already placed there, and they completely treat you like shit. They leave you out. They they talk to each other above you, and then when you get close, they kind of hush up, or they talk down on you, and they never respect you. It's just how it is, and I don't like being around them. They're not good people, and they're indulgent, and they're exactly what I talked about in the last video. And he says that's why I find it weird how Hans Worm has the same mindset. Um, I think Hans understands it. That's why he answers with an equally soulless type of answer. So he doesn't give them anything more. It's kind of interesting. It's like these freaks just give him what they gave you. You know, mirror back what it is. If you're gonna give an in-depth answer, you actually watched the video, you actually took it in, and you listened, and you want to offer something beneficial and good. That's obvious. That's good. If you just get on the channel and you're like, you're a tranny, you're a tear, that's, you know, what is that doing? Does that help? Is that helpful? No. So he says, I salute you in Snow Global and hope that you two broaden your paranoia, so to speak. And yeah, this is paranoid inducing stuff. This is annoying. I don't want to talk about this, but I feel like it's necessary because I want to break through and live a more genuine life than I just every day. Live a more genuine every day. You know, being trapped in this world among all these people throwing these gang signs and all this stuff, you at first you don't know better, and you just do what's around you, and you hear phrases like, if you can't beat them, join them, constantly, which is just, it's always sat wrong with me. You know, fake it till you make it. If you can't beat them, join them. Where do you think those things come from? It's join the herd of people running off the cliff, doing bad things, being overindulgent, instead of taking a moment and thinking about what matters and living for God instead of your own egotism, your own, I don't know, like, comment, subscribe, right? I will never ask for that stuff. So going forward, this guy, I've been talking to him more, and here, he's wonderful. And I want to make work with him. So Abdia goes on, I will try to help you by making a video soon. Just tell me a topic and I will do a very good video for you. Guest speaker, asked him about what he thought about guest speaker on Hans's channel, because they have a different tone to them. Guest speaker made a handful of videos and has her site, and you can tell she's being harassed. So here's his take. Guest speaker suffered a lot. You can hear it in her voice and through her messages. She is trying to understand, but is still being casted aside by society. She was probably being filmed anywhere she went and became the latest drama TV show for satanic people. Also, being filmed and people knowing what you go through every minute is disturbing and hard to grasp. Even my mom does inside jokes about a shitty job I used to have. That's what they are. They all tell inside jokes, and they laugh and snicker at you, and it's ridiculous. So, weird sits, I remember. So I was in 12th grade, and every time I sinned or did something wrong, the next day, from teachers to student, were staring at me with disgust in their eyes. And my clueless brain at that time didn't know that everyone knew how I lived, what I ate, and what I did, to the point that I somehow subconsciously knew that I couldn't lie in front of my friends. You know, quote unquote friends, because they're not your friends. This quote unquote guy, by the way, I love the word guy because it's guys, like it's their disguise, and it just covers all these freaks in one. You don't need to get into all the details. Like, what's up, guy? You can just cover it. This guy, right, I used to call a friend, would out of nowhere in a small group room begin to embarrass me with words. Sorry, my cat's being really ornery today. Let's go, buddy. All right, let's go. Yeah, I do these videos in my daughter's bedroom while my family sleeps, and as I can do them at night. If you guys watch Deutsche videos, you know he does his videos at night. It's when I have the time to do this. I live in a small place, and it's the time to do it. I try to be quiet, but yeah. Anyways, sorry, try to go back. Sorry. Oh, here we go. So embarrassed me with words to the point that I knew it was a setup. This friend, Guy, had flaws everywhere, but still chose to shit on me and wondered why he didn't do the same to the other male friends, and it clicked like 2 months ago. They all knew. And one African friend I had used to say multiple times a day, I feel watched, to mock my situation. And I can empathize with this so heavily because, okay, I had a quote unquote friend, like similar to like this situation, who in a study hall scraped my arm with a Gatorade cap, like asked to do it and then did it. And I was like, I don't get why you're doing this. And he's like, I just want to do it. Like, I just went along with it. I was brain dead. I was like, go ahead, scrape my arm with your Gatorade cap because it's going to make you happy, I guess. We just have been walked all over. And then this same quote unquote friend ordered pornography at my house when I was in high school, invited all these people, all of my this quote unquote group of friends over for a sleepover. I went upstairs to get changed or go to the bathroom or something, come back down, and he had ordered porn on my TV with my dad's credit card because that was the automatic on there. If you remember Comcast back in the day, if you guys had that, it was on demand or something, and he ordered, it was like $12, and I was like, dude, I was mortified. I was mortified that he did it, and he did it. And then, or she, freemartin. And then the next thing this person did was go on my Facebook in front of everybody at a party as like an entertaining thing. And I was like, go ahead, go on my Facebook. And then messaged all the Emmas and Emilys in our class with me, had me with all these Emmas, like 30 Emmas and Emilys, and saying, like, spewing nonsense, like openly hacking my account. And I just let them do it. They just mock you constantly, and they get pleasure out of putting you down. That's what they do. That's how they work. So here's a really interesting point that Abdia mentions. Another thing I remember is that if I wasn't in school, which they know I'm not, it's like the school is closed and everyone is done with their show. Yes, 100%. If what we're seeing is completely correct and God's helping us see, clearly the planet's a nonsensical thing. Clearly their history is bullshit. Clearly so much of what they've fed us is lies. So why would all these people even show up? I had so many people in my school that were extremely wealthy but didn't go to private school. And I would wonder that. I was like, why are you at public school when you have the capacity to go to these higher educations? And why are you doing that? And I feel like it was this, they just got to monitor the regular man, which you don't see at all. And that's the real education. And yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's like school is closed. If I ask my friends what happened while I was gone, they won't tell, or their stories won't add up. The test papers and the exams were rigged to the core. I mentioned before, I've mentioned again, like the valedictorian of my class would leave school for 2 months out of the year. The same person who scraped my arm and was just so mean to me, but I called my friend because I didn't know better, and it just felt so lonely among all these people that were always like this, always snickering and ignoring and mean, playing these little jokes. If I ask my seniors on what they do on a certain subject, they won't tell, and instead they'll say, ooh, that teacher you're going to have is nice, when she clearly wasn't. I hope it didn't bore you out. And then talking about guest speaker again, her website is chilling to read and her messages are beyond valuable. Thanks for showing the website, by the way. So he referenced this song earlier, Burn by Ellie Goulding, and I think it's them in a nutshell. And this explains everything. It's all there. We don't have to worry about nothing because we got the fire and we're burning one hell of a something. They're going to see us from outer space, light it up like we're the stars of the human race. When the lights turn down, they don't know what they heard. Strike the match, play it loud, giving love to the world. We'll be raising our hands, shining up to the sky, because we got the fire. Yeah, we got the fire. And and we're gonna let it burn, 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 burn. This is some great lyricism. This is amazing lyricism. This is just rancid. We're gonna let it burn, burn, burn. Gonna let it burn, burn, burn. We're gonna let it burn. Okay. We don't want to leave, no. We just want to be right now, right now. And what we see is everybody's on the floor acting crazy, getting loco till the lights out. The music's on. I'm waking up. We start the fire and we burn it up. And it's over now. We got the love. There's no sleeping, no sleeping now. It's them. They feel like they're the stars of the human race and the outer space nonsense. They're letting it burn. They that's what they do. They don't benefit the world. They just cause chaos and you know plastic surgery and just all these disgusting things that shouldn't exist or existent. Banks shouldn't exist. I talked about that last video. Just bullshit, nonsense thing that is it takes like it makes sense for us to trade, and then maybe if you want to have this monetary system, okay, but you don't need these central banks. It's such a clear rigging, and they control everything. Um, when the lights turn down, they don't know what they heard. Strike the match, play it loud, giving love to the world. We'll be raising our hands, shining up to the sky because we got the fire. And it's just arrogant. This is an arrogant song. It's arrogant, and it's who's us and they. What were you talking about? Oh, it's because they're telling you what they are. They don't really hide it. If you have this angle, if you understand the lens, if you understand there's four types of people and two types of them have done this to us. It's just what it is. I don't know how else to put it. And they think of themselves as gods, alchemists, magicians, wizards, whatever. And we're supposed to be humble and peaceful and friendly and pray for them. It's hard, but it makes sense. So yeah, in essence, that's what I'm trying to say. Here's Luke 18, 16, and 17. Let the little children come to me and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. Truly, I tell you, anyone who will not receive the kingdom of God like a little child will never enter it. You are supposed to be full of wonder all the time. You're not supposed to have these ham-fisted, hard, this is the way it is, I'm never going to change perspectives. All these people that I've been talking about, they can change. They have the capacity to change. I'm just showing you what they're doing. It's not good. It's evil. And I'm showing you I'm a regular man. It doesn't matter that I'm a regular man. It shouldn't matter, but it's just telling. It does matter. And so much of this world is built for them. And they barely allow us to live. It's so frustrating. They make all these films about it, making fun of us. They Live, The Witches, Harry Potter, calling us the Muggles, whatever. It's insane that this stuff gets allowed and gets pushed the way it does. But who's the populace? Who's the bulk? They are. So, I think we ought to pray for them, and I feel like we're circling the drain a little bit here. But the ultimate thing I want you to come away from this video is it should not. It is obvious that it should not matter what you look like, period. But it does because of how the society is set up and what is held up as the way it is. The society is designed to have these classes. There should not be classes. We should all be equal. And it's just not that in the slightest. And they lie and they pretend under this like guise of diversity that it is, but it's so clearly not. There's so much obvious classism. It's the thinnest coat of paint over an evil world. And we've got to narrow our path and keep spreading the good word by refusing to eat flesh and refusing to be part of this Broadway to destruction where they just indulge and throw gang signs and look demonic. It's so sad. Like I again, like I said, I don't think anybody can know, any mortal being can know who is a wheat, who is a tare, who is saved, etc. But what I'm saying at heart is whether I am a wheat or a tare, I am so happy that I have all of these people around me, from truthers, people that have helped me to get me to the point where I am right now. that are pointing this stuff out and saying this is so clearly evil, you do not want to be part of it. And it's because of them that I've woken up to evil things like gorillas that I was obsessed with as a child because I thought of them as they displayed them. Oh, they're treated poorly and they don't, they're going to be extinct because of people deforesting, and orangutans is the same idea. But then once you know it's a man in a suit, once it's a person in a suit, it's so ugly and evil that you don't even want to like look at it. You don't even want to touch it. And then to end this video, I want to say the most wonderful part of my life going on right now is once a week, my partner and I and my daughter, we all go together to my daughter's preschool co-op. And yeah, there's problems with it. This earlier this week when we went, they read a book and it was an Eric Carle book and they referenced gorillas, and they usually don't go crazy with the outer space stuff or whatnot, but that was a minor tidbit because the rest of the time I got to hang out with these children and play with them and see my daughter playing with them and meet these other parents or other guardians that also have denied the public school system and are putting a little bit more effort in to homeschool. And some of them still seem to want government help with this homeschooling, which I think makes no sense, because I think that's the whole essence of homeschooling, is that you want to do it away from the system, with you as a teacher, because you can teach them best if you know all this stuff is fake and you want to teach them what's genuine and good. But this stuff still permeates even the homeschool environments, the bad stuff, but it doesn't do so in a way that you can't see the joy in these children's eyes when they're playing together and they're really ensconced in activity, and they're learning letters, they're learning shapes, they're learning how to move their bodies, and it doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter if it's a little freemartin or a little swire or a little girl or a little boy. It doesn't matter. What matters is that they are able to explore this place to the full. And like it says here, you have to be like a little child, but not in the pestilent sense, not in the I'm not lying about everything and being like a royal type person, like being entitled. No, being a child in the sense that there's this sense of wonder that comes to you when you look at a pebble, or when you look at something as complicated as a smartphone or a computer or something like that. There's so much to discover, and yeah, I wanted to make this video to continue to bring positive energy out there and erode the hate. And hey, at the end of the day, if I'm a terror and I'm bringing people to Christ, or bringing people to just truth and narrowing their path in a good way so that they can see better, that's good. Like, I don't, that's all we're here to do. We're here to bring everybody together. We're here to, to make the narrow path more obvious, I suppose. I mean, something that German Videos talked about in one of his is God a divider? Or sorry, I'm having this symbol construed. God is a divider, not a uniter. So these satanic people, they just want you to go along with the ride, and you have to get off of it. You have to say, this is wrong, I refuse to take part in it, and here's why. And you have to be clear-headed about it. That's it. It's not complicated. It's not hard to explain why the globe makes no sense. It's not hard to explain why gorillas are nonsense. It's not hard to explain why there is an obvious secret society that operates in plain sight. It's the forest through the trees thing. And I'm not trying to create hate. I want to create a better understanding of this narrow path, which really isn't that complicated at its source. And hopefully, this great guy Abdia Ahmed, hopefully I'll get to make videos with him. He seems like a good dude. So let's continue making good content, um, and spreading the good word, because I think every day that you recognize what's truly important, and you indulge less, and you utilize things like fasting. You fast better, you're not just fasting in food, you're fasting in terms of screen time, you're fasting in terms of even communication. You shouldn't be talking a mile a minute like I've done for this video. um, these things, you have to take stock of what's important and allow everybody to have a voice. And that's why I've been asking these people that have been coming on my channel and leaving hate, let's make stuff together, let's work together and do stuff. I don't want to spread crap, I'd rather spread good stuff. So how do we do it? I think we point out the obvious bad stuff and then make amazing things. Like, I'm bored of airplanes, I would rather have insects or like dragonfly, butterfly derived flying apparatuses, and all sorts of wondrous things. But none of these things can happen if we don't have our grounding. And I believe what we're trying to do here is help people ground themselves, pull them out of the paranoia of this age. What these people, these evil people, if they are just pure evil at heart, they succeed when they scare you. That's how they succeed. When they fearmonger you and they make you debilitated, so you sit alone in a room and you're not moving and you're sad. That's how they work, right? Good people bring you out. They're gonna listen to you. They're gonna hear you fully. They're gonna want to work with you and put aside their agenda to help you when they know you need it, or vice versa. We need to lean on each other and be each other's strength. And I believe that's what God is here to do, to show us who really wants that and who is more interested in egotism and being in an inside club. You people that are in an inside club, you guys lose. Sorry. It's just, it doesn't make sense that you would win. People that are loyal and straightforward and not convoluted and aren't buffing themselves up and humble, it makes sense to me that God will give them better eyesight, better understanding of things. And it's a long path. It's a long road. It's complicated in some ways, especially if you have drank alcohol, if you have ate animals before. But once you stop doing those things, it becomes easier and easier and easier and easier. And I know a lot of this video, I've come like a hurricane, because I gotta admit, these people that came on my channel, it bothered me. It bothered me. But I can't come back at them with vitriol or hate. I have to go back at them with, God bless you. I don't know all the answers, and I hope we can make content together, because what, isn't that what God wants? God wants us to heal and to save as many people as possible. So I hope I this ran a little longer than I thought. My cat was zipping in and out. He's an interesting character unto himself that I'm trying to understand better every day. I still haven't done an operation on him. I don't want to do an operation on him. I don't think it's right to neuter your animals or spay your animals, really. It's really messed up, the things that we do that we just consider to be fine or normal. And I think we have to really look at how we treat our fellow beings, animals, bugs, people. I mean, people are animals. That delineation even feels wrong. But I'll just say all of God, all creatures. We have to be very. We have to look at that. We have to. At the end of the day, before we go to sleep, how did you treat somebody? How did you treat people today? How did you treat yourself today? Are you doing better, or did you have a lapse? Be open to criticizing yourself. Keep a journal. Do all these things. I agree somewhat with Abdi Ahmed about the religion being so rough and maybe being for these people that are like Ellie Goulding, just burn, burn, burn. Maybe it is for them. I don't know. But I like a lot of what Christ has to say, even though I think his words are misconstrued sometimes. That's what I feel. I feel like many of his good words are there, but then I also feel like they've edited stuff, so things can be taken out of context. So you have to do the searching, the soul searching. You have to find the path. And if I help you, great. If I don't, move on. I'm not going to leave hate on anybody's channel, and I will never call anybody a tear anymore. I've done it before. I'll admit to it. I've called people tears in the past. I am no longer going to do that. I will say somebody is misguided. I will say somebody has made mistakes. I will say I've made mistakes as I went through in this video. However, I will not call somebody a tear because only God knows that. Okay? And we are trying to better our lives at heart. That's it. That's the essence of it. We made mistakes. We've sinned. Now we can get better. All right. Have a good day, y'all.